The name's Edie Mons, Private Eye. My nose case has been giving me some trouble. You see, a gallery owner came to me saying he suspected his main artist was behind a string of disappearances recently. Young women vanishing after being selected as muses for her works. I simply had to take a look at the information. For the artist, Typhenia Blackwood, known for her rather lifelike pieces. Getting a hold of her is like watching pigs fly, so she's off the table. Her ex-wife, however, she might be another story. Persis Blackwood, a woman keen to keep her face from the public eye. After their divorce, well... Her competition, Marlowe Jones, another artist who feels Miss Blackwood's success has overshadowed his. Then there's Johanna Smart. Miss Smart has come to me about a missing friend after one of these Muse calls they'd both been to. Miss Smart had not passed through the first round, but her friend had and hasn't been seen again. I'll need to interview them all to get to the bottom of this. Who are you?
My name is Persis. Typhenia and I used to be married. I'm sure you've seen it in the paper at least once.
The name's Marlowe. You've heard of me, I hope. What's the use? Everyone's only ever heard of the great Typhenia Blackwood these days.
My name's Johanna. I'd applied to be a muse for Miss Blackwood's works, but I was rejected out of my group. How well do you know the suspect? I used to think we were quite open with one another. I was her inspiration, she'd say. But she got twisted of a sort. It frightened me. That's why I left.
Well, I'd like to say I'm her most bitter admirer. She's been stealing my spotlight ever since her divorce made her valuable. If it wasn't for that, my art wouldn't be second place again. But knowing her, not a damn thing.
I met her once for an interview. She screams the Muses, you know. Ruled us all out for one reason or another. Mine was like my skin was too fair. Something about her just disturbed me. Do you think she's behind the disappearances? She's obsessed with her paintings. Desperate that they look lifelike, you see. And there's... well, I shan't say. But I'd be careful with her. Investigating her won't stop her, I fear.
With all the strings I'm sure she's pulled to get her to where she is now, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe the lady with that dreadful veil knows something I don't.
Well, there was this one other girl in our interviews that got picked to stay. I didn't know her too well, but we chatted at the grocer's. She hasn't been in to pick anything up recently. I'm worried. To get to the bottom of this, there's only one place I'll need to go. The gallery itself. By pulling some strings, I've managed to get access long after the public has gone home. If there's even a chance I may run into Miss Blackwood, then I'd like it to be without meddling eyes. Her exhibit, tucked into its own wing, has a number of pieces. This one here, the woman looks remarkably familiar, and I'm just starting to figure out who it is when she arrives.
An admirer, Detective? I've heard you've been looking for me.
You've been accused of a crime, Miss Blackwood. It's my due diligence to investigate.
What I do here is not a crime, Detective. It's art. Though I take it you mean the Muses.
So you do know why I'm here. Stop cowering and come speak with me. What has happened to those young ladies?
I've merely transformed them, Detective, capturing their essences in their paintings. Like this young lady here, her visage has come out beautifully, can't you agree? In fact, I would be more than happy to demonstrate exactly what I mean by that. If you would merely sit in this chair here, I'd be happy to demonstrate.
If anything was going to lead me to finding those young ladies, I was happy to entertain her for at least a moment's time. I sat in that chair, and she began explaining her process of how she does her painting. Even mentioned that I look remarkably like her ex-wife, Persis. And as I sat there, I realized all of the portraits look like Persis. I look like Persis. I could see why Johanna was rejected. Miss Smart has a paler skin tone than her ex-wife. And the longer I sit here, frozen, I grow more and more afraid. and I can no longer hear Miss Blackwood's words. I've realized what she's done with these young ladies, trapped them within the paintings. These aren't their visages, their essences. These are them. I can only hope someone informs Miss Smart of what has happened to her friend. I can no longer do so myself. I can only hope that my painting comes out as beautiful as the others.